Okay, it says it's recording.
Recording is on.
So, the first thing I want to cover tonight, I've been talking for a while about updating the Mission Excellence Plan. I'm going to share my screen and we can talk about this a little bit. So, if you can see that, what I want to cover is was brought up that, we're encouraging people to use the phone app to record what they do, but that did not correspond very well with um, what we had on the MEP. So column A is what we had on the DC MEP. Column B or C is this is Dale was kind enough to put this together. It showed what the COS Action app, the phone app, what it had. The things that are orange were in common, and the things on the phone app down below here were not on the MEP at all. So what I've done is I've proposed a new one, which I didn't mark all this stuff, but most of the things that are on here are directly correlate with the phone app. So, and I put the old categories were, I think we called it, gosh, now I got a blank in my mind. We had three categories. One of them was legislative relationships. Oh, the first one was general and training, and then legislative relationships, and then growing the grassroots. So I changed these three category names to what we want to use this year, which is connect, build, and grow. So connect means connecting with other people in COS and connecting with the organization through training. And so attend a COS event. I think I added the virtual or in person and attended a COS event monthly state call. That is different than what's on the phone app, but if somebody put that they attended an event, either one would correspond to that. And attended a training session, and I added the or any COSU class. Met with district captain, which is on the phone app, and I added in region captain or volunteer. So anytime people get together with, regionally or with other volunteers, that would count for points. A mentored or trained a new volunteer, and then met with state director. And if you look in this column, you can kind of see, and most of these are more or less alphabetical order, so they correspond pretty closely to that. The build is building legislative relationships, and these pretty much correspond with the ones that were on the other one, except I think we added, they had things like email to state legislator and so on, but most of these are pretty similar to what is on the phone app. So people can record it on the phone app and they can transfer it directly here. And then grow is growing the grassroots. And these are pretty correspond fairly closely with the phone app also, I think, except thought I put block walking on there.
You put precinct walking.
Oh, yeah, they call it precinct walking. Maybe and that's what they called it on the phone app. So precinct walking, block walking fits in there. So anyway, you might take a close look at that, and it's hard to say what points should allot to different things, but I put in some points here. If you have any thoughts about that, let me know. Something should have more or less points, or if there's something in particular you think we should be added, let me know. The idea behind this is if we can encourage all the district captains and really the district captains to use that phone app every time they do something to record it in the COS Action app on their phone. Then they can go in at the end of the month and they can just look through all the reports they made and fill out the MEP right straight from that.
I have a question about the recruiting. Is calling people from the dashboard considered recruiting?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I would think so. I mean,
Well, it's a tedious job, and it's how I didn't find the people that I found. So
yeah,
it should count for something.
yeah. Recruiting is one of the things that they have on the COS phone app, and to me, it's really vague. But yeah, anything that you do with your recruiting volunteers, if you're making phone calls to get people to come to a gun show or a county fair, that should all count as recruiting. If you're trying to recruit people to be, district captains or volunteer activists or whatever it might be, I think that should qualify for that. And part of the thing with all of this is that we're really asking people to self-report. Nobody's going to go in and audit any of this. We're asking people to self-report, and it really has two purposes. One is to kind of help guide people as to activities that they can do, and also by reporting it, it allows us and allows National to know how much activity is going on. And National, I think if you might have watched Jason Gerard's call about they want people to report, fill out that weekly report on their activities. And I don't know if any of you guys do that. It's really more for district captains, but I think putting a thing on your phone really serves that purpose, because that National can access that and they can see how much activity is going on. And they're very concerned about knowing how much is really going on at the grassroots level, because they utilize that in fundraising, and it also allows them to gauge, how effective we're being at creating a real grassroots army.
I got a couple questions. The met with district captain, region captain, or volunteer. When we have our meetings, can we count all the people we met with like we did before? Like if there was 8 people there, we get to count it as 8 people.
Yeah, you can count it as 8 people if you want to do that. And you can also tell everybody there, pull out your phone and put down that you met with, district captain, region captain, or volunteer. Because one of the things we really want to encourage is encouraging people to get together and do those things. And, I mean, it's really for district captains to report more so than for you guys. As region captains, Dale wanted all of you as region captains taken off of the MEP report, because it's really trying to measure the activity of people that are in the district captain category, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would encourage anytime people get together, just tell everybody, hey, at some point, tell everybody, pull your phone out. And if they don't have the COS Action app already on their phone, have them put it on there, and then have them, pull it out and mark down that they've done this. Because then when they get to the end of the month, if they want to know what all they've done, it's easy to go back and fill out the MEP report from their phone.
Gary, if you're doing anything in Telepatriot, would that be plugged in here anywhere, or is that completely separate?
That's a good question. I guess National knows how many telepatriot calls that are made. So here's what I would say. If somebody's making calls out of state on a mission that's a multi-state mission, probably should not be reported on this. But if it's an in-state call, so it's an Indiana call to action, such as, hey, we're going to do a call to action to encourage everybody to go to the Capitol surge, that should count. They could count it as recruiting, or they could probably count it as other if they wanted. Or they could count it with Connect because they're connecting with volunteers or activists or something. I don't really care how they report it, but I would think that would make sense. If it's an in-state, if it's a COS Indiana call to action that we are doing, then they should report it there. Because I don't know if those would get reported to national, but we have like the calls we made into Houston, national knows how many calls we made because they created the call to action. Other questions?
So how do we get this COS Action app on our phone?
Yeah, you just download it from the App Store or the Google Play Store. All they need to do is be able to download it, and then they need their login credentials. And once you're logged into it, then those are saved, I guess. And so anytime after that, you should never have to log into it again. It'll call up your information, I believe. Other questions or comments about this? You can tell the district captains if they had anything in December to go ahead and report that. Probably on the January call, I'll highlight some the totals for the year from 2021, the top performers for the year. So if they have anything they want to put in there for December, that'd be fine. And I'm going to get together with Paul probably the next day or two, and we're going to create a new MEP spreadsheet that will replace the old one. That'll have the new categories under, connect, build, and grow. So the old sheet and everything on it's going to go away. I mean, it'll still be out there, I guess, unless we delete it at some point in the future, but it'll still be out there. And, if people want to look back and compare what they did last year or anything like that, or see what the categories were last year compared to this year. But anyway.
Yeah, well, Gary, to clarify, so when we're on the state call and we're looking at numbers, that's district captains reporting for what period of time? Is it the prior month or from state call to state call or what?
Okay, Dale wants to do that from the prior month. So really, that's why in January, I'm not going to have any January reports from this new COS MEP. It'll all be from last year's MEP. And I'm not going to report probably the month of December. I'll probably just report some yearly totals for some of the top people. But going forward, like what people put in for January is not going to come up on the state call until the February state call. So really people will have a couple weeks after the end of the month to go back in and enter their actions on the spreadsheet.
Will that go in on a January, or are we putting January and February?
Now you put the action down for the month in which the action was done. So when they report for January, it'll be anything they did during the month of January.
So when are you going to have that? When did you say that sheet's going up?
I'll have it up probably in the next couple of days. I'm working with Paul Phillips and we're going to put that sheet together probably tomorrow or the next day. So I just want to confirm with you guys all these categories look good before we put it together on the new spreadsheet. Okay. Any other questions or comments about that? If not, I want to take a quick look at the training sheet. I don't know if you can see this, but good progress there. We've got a couple people taken off that were we've decided, dropped out of training, and so they should be eliminated. I got a couple other people who have said they're going to start moving through training, and I know Dale said we got Liz Herrickle. She finished her training. I thought if George was on tonight, we could talk about moving her to the graduate category, which he will take care of. But anybody that finishes, when you are satisfied that they're finished, let us know on this call, and then we'll get them moved to the graduate category. And I've also changed who was mentoring a couple of people because of the change in the district alignment or the region alignments. Some people that were in one region captain's area have changed to a new area. So Stacy Camp, Cheryl, I changed your mentor to you. You should have gotten that email that I sent her. I had some back and forth.
I did.
Okay. Texted back and forth with her in December, and she said she wanted to try and get started again on training. She did a little bit of it last year, and then things came up and she didn't, but she's in that house district just north of you. So hopefully you can get connected with her and we can get her moving. Yeah. Thomas put Jim Johnson under you, and let's see if there was somebody else. You got a number of people on there anyway. So I made some notes on people I talked to. So one of the things also, as you make phone calls to the people you're mentoring, try to go into this notes and select. Just, let me click on a tab here for Ryan White. And you go into this box right here, and that's where you make notes. And then when you make notes, it'll show up in this area so that when I look at it, or if Dale is looking at this a lot and wanting to know, how people are progressing through training, if you make notes in there, then he'll know if you've talked to somebody or what's going on with the trainees. Anyway, that's kind of what, make a note to put notes in there when you do call your trainees, and try to touch base with them at least once a week, and help them out with their training if they're having troubles or whatever. I made a new video that replaces the old one that Paul made, that he made a long time ago, because a lot has changed with training with respect to that. So there's a new video, and don't think it shows up on the sheets yet, but I can give you the link to it, and make sure that you can send that. It's about a 5-minute video that kind of walks the district captains through how to use the training sheet. And the other thing is that we did a kind of reorganized the training sheet. I'm going to call up Hannah Montgomery here and you will see what we did. One of the things we did, we moved this green section down to the very bottom. That was previously at the top, but to me it was kind of confusing because people didn't fill out anything directly on that sheet. If they filled in dates where they did training in one of these orange or yellow or whatever that color is, or blue sections, it would automatically go into the green section. And so it wasn't something they directly used. It still works that way, but instead of them seeing that as the first thing at the top, that'll be at the bottom, and you can go and look at it and see what all they've done, or you can just, start at the top. And most of the training, we're kind of encouraging them to just start right in at the top and work their way down through the orange sections first, and then the blue sections. And I highlighted a couple of blue sections. I don't know that they need to do everything on there, but I highlighted a couple of the most important ones for them to do in the blue sections. So anyway, that's a little bit of a change from the old video. And part of the objective here is to streamline the training and help people get through it more quickly. Hopefully with that new format, it'll be a little easier for people to understand what they should be doing and how to utilize the training. So any questions about the training sheet? Not, I'm going to take that away. So looking to know what you guys are looking to get done this week. Anybody have a goal for what you want to get done this week?
I'm just working on getting people to the next regional meeting and trying to set up meetings in local areas. I've had a couple of requests from people that live far away to get something going in that area. So that's what I'm working on.
Okay, that's your region meeting, and then you're looking to set
up district meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And Dale, you have a region breakfast coming up, don't you?
Actually, it was last Saturday, and it was just canceled because of the ill health of the region captain.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, we put it off because the first Saturday was the New Year's holiday, and then a week later I was sick, so
okay.
I didn't want to go expose anybody to anything.
Yeah, that's probably a good plan. So anything else you're going to work on this week?
I'm kind of pushing people to get familiar with to go through the precinct walking training.
Okay.
Because I don't think that was, whenever people went through training initially, I don't think that was part of it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's just been added within maybe even the last 6 months. It's fairly new, and
Yeah.
I think particularly when the weather warms up here, that's a great idea. Thing we can do that will get people connected with each other. You get 4, 6, 8, 10 people together to go precinct walking, and just spend a couple hours doing it. It'll be a great way to do team building. Have coffee before, or lunch after, or something like that. I think that's really going to be a neat thing for us to get active with. So, Thomas, how about you? You got anything planned for this week?
Yeah, I'm going to go see my cardiologist. Oh, he's going to check out my new scars I have.
Oh, okay.
And as for, I've been wanting to get myself writing removal letters. Been putting off, hoping that they would show up here in Carson University, but I don't see anybody coming live. So, yeah, some people are going to get a removal letter.
All right.
Put them back down to volunteer third class.
Okay. I was going to tell you that James Johnson or Jim Johnson.
Yeah.
Why don't you try to connect with him? Now he's a good guy. I think he's going to be a real
I've talked to
actor.
him before.
You have? Okay, good.
I talked to him before. It's the other guys.
Yeah, there's another gal, Melanie Shepard. Yeah, Shepard. She lives not too far from him, so I'm going to I told him to call her and see if they can set up a meeting. When I talked to her about training, she told me she's very much more of a face-to-face kind of hands-on person rather than somebody that likes to get online and do the training. So I'm thinking that if they meet, maybe we can find a better connection for her and maybe a different role. I don't know, but I think she's got potential to be a good district captain, but she's not real anxious to get in the training, I think, until she actually meets somebody face to face. So,
You volunteered?
what's that?
I said you volunteered.
I volunteered Jim to do it. He lives close by, and so he's going to call her, and they're going to try to get together. So anyway, how about you, Vicki? You got anything planned for this week?
I've been working with George. We got the sign-up sheet up for the Columbia City Gun Show. Who's Ryan White? You put me down as a mentor for him.
I don't know. Ask George about that. I think he put you in that role. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Uh,
I've been we started that class, so I've been, we have to read a chapter a week and fill out, like this week was 16 questions at the end of the chapter. So I worked on that today, and I'm going to finish it tomorrow. And then we have our class on Wednesday.
hey, George showed up.
Yeah, I nodded off about 3 hours ago.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Vicki, Thomas, Dale, Cheryl.
Hey,
Hi, George.
glad you could join us.
Hey, George, have you taken the servant leadership class? Ask George a question. He disappears in a hurry.
But either.
Hey, George,
What?
have you taken the servant leadership class?
Dale asked me that earlier. I bought the book when it came out and got about halfway through it. Ended up giving it away to a new DC, and I mailed some to some of the new DCs for a while. I think I saw 1 or 2 classes that Jeannie gave, and then nothing. So no.
Okay. All right. Well, we want to get you into that. So, Thomas, you think
Does it
you're
hurt?
going to be able to connect with this one with Chris, right?
Chris, yeah.
Okay. And Vicki, you're in the one with Rosalind, right?
Yes.
You and Cheryl are doing that.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And that's on a Wednesday?
Yes, at 3.
Yep.
Okay. And Thomas, is yours today? Was it earlier today or is it tomorrow?
It's on Wednesday at 4.
Okay, Wednesday at 4. Okay. All right. Well, you guys can let me know how that's going. How about
Do we need a book for this?
Yes, you do need a book for this.
Oh crap!
You gave all yours away.
I might have one laying around here somewhere.
All
I'll
right.
check.
Well, you gave me yours. I've marked it all up, so I don't want to send it back to you, but
What a mess! I got bedhead.
maybe I can arrange
Oh,
one
what the hell?
for you. Something like that.
Can't wait for Halloween.
I see. It's going to be a while, Richard. I mean, George, you might want to do something in the meantime. Hey, Richard, what about you? You got any plans for this week, or you got mostly school board stuff?
No, there's nothing on school board. We have 4 candidates from my conservative group that are going to run for county council,
Okay.
and Marshall County needs 14 delegates, which I think we're going to have more than that from our group. And then if you look at the GOP rhinos we have in our county GOP, so that's going to probably go to primary. Now, as far as convention of states, I'm trying to set up the time. It'll probably be not this week, but it'll probably be next week, to where I'm going to try and have a meet and greet in Stark County. I don't know if it's going to be in the Coons Lake area or if it's going to be more in Knox. So I'm trying to draw some people out.
Okay.
And another display for COS up in in the library. So I've got to probably take some pictures of that to put it out on Slack. But I'm going to go there and put a couple. I need some more paperwork. I have stuff in my Tupperware container, but I have a little placard up there, so I'm going to have. I need to put a sign-up sheet. So actually, when people look at the platform where they could sign, there's a couple empty sheets, and in case somebody wants to sign, so that's all good.
Okay. That
And then
sounds good.
the library will hand out the COS cards to go to the website, or if somebody wants to sign a petition, they'll have a petition behind the desk for them to sign, if they ask.
Okay. So, Richard, you just went to the library and asked them about putting this display up. Is that right?
Well, sure. Yeah, we have a display area on each end of the library. On the kids' side, it's inside in a couple of bookcases, enclosed bookcases, and I put up stuff there before. But the other side, by the main entrance, in the big glass window, they give me the keys so I can step up in there and then put up a display. So I've got the big rectangular banner in there. I had Larry built those little stand-up little podiums where you can actually sign the petition. I've got that in the center, and I'm going to put some petitions on there. And then I have different COS paraphernalia, and I have the Liberty Amendments in there. And then I have my 3 yard signs up in the window, my 3 different yard signs. So I put those up in the window for convention of states, Save the Kids. I'm a proud supporter, and the other one is we have a solution as big as the problem. So I have those up there. And then some of the materials I have, and I put a couple of the Hillsdale College declarations. And I've got a couple pocket guides here I need to take. And then since I work across the street from them, I'll just go up there and add more stuff tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, I just go in there, and at the beginning of the month, I was like, hey, who's going to put a display up there? And, you could do it. And you should be able to do that in your libraries in your towns. And if someone tries to say, oh, it's about the Constitution, so it's, it's for everybody. So it's not attached to one side or the other. So they can't really turn it down. But see, the other plus is most of the librarians that all work there are in my conservative group. So I really don't have any problem getting that in there. Because they're also we're hosting a faculty course on the third weekend, third Saturday of February. So We've got like 20 people signing up for that, for the foundation of applied conservative leadership. So it's kind of, it's a good thing. They're kind of busy.
Yeah, it sounds really good. So one of the things you guys could do is talk to your district captains and tell them, go to their local library and see if they can put up a display. And if they need materials, we can, I think I gave a lot of you guys a yard sign at one time or another. We can order more yard signs. We got the signs that he and his wife made. I've got one sitting here behind me. You could put those up in a library in a display case. You could put out literature, things like that. These are things that, if you got a district captain or you got somebody that's just a volunteer and they don't know what they can do, that'd be a great thing for them to do, is try to go into the library and build a connection with somebody there and see if they can put up a display. And, if you happen to work in a library and you have a display like that, they probably would love to have somebody come in and offer to put up a display from time to time, because otherwise they have to think up a new display to put up every month or however often they change them. And you're doing them a favor and you're doing us a favor, and allows you to kind of build a relationship with somebody there, find out maybe there's some conservative minded people, which is what Richard has found out in his library. There's other like-minded people that maybe work at the library, and it's just a good way to build connections locally. And district captains, we've got the stuff on the mission excellence plan, which this doesn't really, I don't know what category it might fall into, but it's an activity that people can engage in that is doesn't take a lot of time, but it can have a lot of impact because it really helps to spread the word. It'd probably fall in the category of other, for building the grassroots, maybe.
Gary?
Yes.
Also, the message boards. There's message boards by every door and all sorts of things in the library. I mean, and there's always a lot of patriot and conservative stuff up there. So just putting up stuff that there's a district captain in, and they'll have a little meet and greet. Like-minded people really need to connect, and that's what I'm finding out. And then the other thing is, I would suggest for district captains, the GOP are going around because the election's right around the corner, so they're trying to meet with their constituents in all their little towns, and they're having little meetings. And if you go there as a district captain, sit and listen, and you can listen to the people, and they talk about their grievances and their disconnect and everything else. And that's the perfect time to say, hey, you know what? There's a bunch of like-minded individuals like you, patriot-loving freedom fighters that are taking a stand, and you talk about convention of states, and then there you go. I love you too, buddy. Good night. So that's another way to get people in there. And I mean, that's what I've been doing. October, November, December. The January one was canceled because our chair got sick with the flu, so they postponed the January one in August. But I'm using all those areas to go and network, and I bring people with my conservative group. We go into every town, and hey, here's this group. And then I said, hey, look at this. I give them my convention of states card, and say, here, let's go look at this. No pressure. Tell me what you think, and if I see you around, great. And I've had a couple of people turn up. So, and it works, because they're just as upset as the rest of us, but they don't know who to turn to.
Yep. Good ideas, Richard. So when you guys have your region meeting and you get together with your district captains, talk to them about that. Those are great ideas. Because the people that will go and talk to their state rep or their state senator, those are likely to be people that are activist minded, and those are the people we want to connect with. And we connect with those people and get them, on our team, or even if we don't have them on our team, if they know about us, they'll help us spread the word, and we can team up with other people that are activists and try to accomplish things to build this culture of self-governance. but it requires us to, get out and meet with people and get where the people are. So great ideas. Well, this meeting has already gone longer than I had planned on. Anybody else have anything else they want to chat about?
I just had one thing I wanted to say. President Biden signed the American Rescue Plan, and he's sending money, big money, to the schools and to hospitals. And in exchange, they have to follow the government rules, and that's why they are not allowing certain medicines to be given to COVID patients, and that's why the school boards can't change the rules they've made. So there is a video on Slack under general, and that's where I got this information. I watched that video, and I suggest that you all watch it to see. They're saying when you go to your school board meetings, do some research and find out how much money they're getting from the government and bring that up to them, and encourage them to give the money back and follow the parents, what the parents went to schools to do. But it's a really good video.
Okay, good idea. I will take a look at that. And that sounds like really exactly what you did, Richard, isn't it? Got the school board to turn down the money and follow their own.
Well, that money was, the health department was reaching out to the county council to get some CARES money to get basically a COVID czar into the schools. Now, our county did take $9 million of that ARP money, but the federal government hasn't stated how it needs to be spent. So it's sitting in an interest-bearing account right now, which we're trying to tell the county council to give that $9 million back. Now, as far as the school, and if we're talking about the ESSERS grant money, they took phase 3 money back in June, and it's what Indiana took over 11 billion total. I know Plymouth took 4.3. John Glenn over here took 1.4, and all the neighboring schools, all the schools love federal money, and they do not care less about the federal strings that come with it.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point for us to bring up when we talk to people, and we got to push ourselves away from the federal trough if we want to get control back at the local level, because that's how they buy control. They give
Amen
money.
to that.
With money comes control, and that's what they want to control everything. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week, and I'm going to stop the recording now.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.